rather sadness. We just hope that it doesn't happen again. It's been happening, but in a very subtle and funny way, you know. Ghanaians are finding some interesting ways of still going about the way they went about issues previously, and let's see if we can learn one or two. So the late Captain retired Major Mahama, let's just have a short video to remind us of what happened 1 year down the line. Back. I have in the studio relatives of the late Major Mahama, as we aired, and I'm sure you remember that day. I wasn't. It was terrible for me in the studio. I mean, I can remember how bad I felt. I still can remember how I felt when I was doing the show. So 1 year down the lane, we're still battling out who caused this gruesome harm to the country. We're still battling with it in court. Captain retired Dennis Mahama is a relative to the late Mahama, and he's joined us in the studio. I also have Michael Mahama. There was some picture that was trending on social media. There's this very handsome, nice, good-looking, like the late one, who was also in pictures with the gentleman. And Michael Mahama is also joined us in the studio. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And good morning.
Thank you.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Let me go to you first. You are younger brother to him,
yes.
right? So how have you been coping?
Okay, I'd like to say good morning to your viewers once again. It hasn't been easy for me and the family. You know, they say time is a healer, and over the months we've had so many supporters and people who support us, family, friends, and sympathizers. They've been there for us, and I think it's because of that support. That's why we are here now, because I'm sure if people didn't come on board to support us, it would be something else, you know. So we're really grateful.
Captain retired.
Yes.
How about you? How are you related to him?
That's my son.
That's your son.
That's my firstborn.
I see.
And he's the third.
Oh, I see.
Of the same mother.
I see.
So unfortunately, we lost the second one. After Maxwell was our firstborn. There was a second one who we lost, and then Michael here.
I now recall. I now remember your face very well during the funeral time.
Yeah.
So how have you also been coping as a father?
Well, it's been.
I want to understand how you feel, seeing how your son died.
Yeah, it's I believe that you can imagine it.
In fact, I can't imagine.
Except that that's the best way to describe it. It's unimaginable, and well, we've always been very thankful to Ghanaians because, like my son just said, the support from well-wishers, relatives, prayers, and what have you, all have gone a long way to suit our pains. We first of all thank the Almighty Allah for bringing us this far, for bringing us this far, having carried this pain for almost a year now.
I remember during the funeral, the mother said something and I took it away with me. It was so strong. She said that if she were there, she would have traded places.
You can be sure of that for everybody in the family. Oh yes, you can be sure of that. And that is what normally gives us the pain, that in all this suffering, I was sitting somewhere and couldn't be there to just do something.
Where were you when you were told?
I was at home. I'm a pensioner based in Afienya. That's where I live with my son until he left to UK to do his master's. In fact, he's currently a student in the UK. So it's been very terrible. It's very, very, very terrible. But right now, it's almost a year now, and we are preparing for the anniversary funeral. The day will fall on the 29th, which is a Tuesday, and yeah, you can imagine, you can see how you are sobbing just for us, and that is how it has been everywhere. People do the crying for us, so all our tears are gone, even though the pain is still in our hearts. 29th will be exactly 1 year, and we have to do the funeral, the anniversary funeral. Until on the 29th, at 6:30, we will go to the Catholic Church at Bema Camp for a church service, early morning service. From where we'll proceed to the cemetery to do reef laying. Then after the reef laying, we will gather at the Arakan Officers' Mess as a family to deliberate on issues. Arakan Officers' Mess is in Bema Camp. Then around 1 o'clock, we will move to the Airport Hills Runabout for a ceremony. The government has approved of a monument to be built in his honor. And so there's going to be a sword cutting ceremony for that monument. And that will be done by the Minister of Defense, and the whole armed forces will be there. The general public is invited.
So the people have been talking about, you know, some of these military officers who die in the line of duty, and there are people who have raised concerns that it looks like we have paid so much attention to the late Mahama than the other ones who died in the line of duty. In my opinion, I think that you are right. We have been very biased towards this because of the way it happened. It's just as simple as that. It's because of the way it happened. I mean, you cannot, if I'm a police officer in my line of duty, an armed robber shoots me down and I die, I mean, it's one of those that happens regularly, you know, on a regular basis. But to have a military officer just stoned to death for nothing, that is also another issue. Is all die be die, but some deaths, you know, all die be die, but some deaths, you know, is something that you cannot really compare to anything. It's one thing that I can't stand it. I mean, every time I've had to talk about it, it's crazy. It gets me very emotional. I don't know if, Michael, you have anything else to say.
Nothing really.
Did you really cry?
Yes, I did.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I did. So, but like I said, time is a healer. So as the day goes by, we just get better and better, and that's good.
Okay. So we there's a movement, okay, calling for justice. But before I bring you that movement, what they have, the message they have, and the family is also in support of what this group is doing. And so let me bring you that interview after this break.
Can I add something?
Do you want increase in sales? Or do you want to draw attention? Then mobile advertising vans from Digicat is your best bet. Our mobile advertising vans
in motion.
I used to speak with my husband many times in the day. Even when he's out on duties, we are always communicating. And when the duty is close to the house, I'll make sure I prepare food and he'll find a way of getting it. So we're very close. So when he went away, I was always doing videos, short videos, and then sent to him. So it was like we were still close, but although he was away, I mean, the connection was there. So yes, it has affected me. Sometimes I cry a lot in the day. Sometimes I just reflect, and other times I concentrate on the happy times we had. So I go through a lot of phases in one day, but God is keeping me. All of a sudden, there's no daddy to take them to school, no daddy to send them to the tennis court, no daddy to send them swimming, no daddy to play around with them. It has affected them. Just this morning, Jaden was saying that his father is not dead and that he's a Spider-Man. But usually when they ask of him, I tell them he's in heaven with God. And they'll say, okay. But later, Jaden will say he's waiting for his father to come and pick him to school or to the tennis court. Or it's just, it has affected us seriously. But we are managing. My husband was someone who always brightened up the corner, whether the place was dark. He would just, anywhere he enters, the place will be fun. He will crack jokes, people will laugh, and he will serve. Life after my husband's death has been full of uncertainties, sad moments, all hope being lost, mixed feelings.
Imagine being in a situation where a large crowd of people attack you.
I used to speak. My husband many times in the day. Even when he's out on duties, we are always communicating. And when the duty is close to the house, I'll make sure I prepare food and he'll find a way of getting it. So we're very close. So when he went away, I was always doing videos, short videos, and then sent to him. So it was like we were...
Welcome back. And I'm the only one that hasn't changed on the platform, but the people that I was interviewing earlier have all changed into something. It's very significant because we're sending out a message, and I've also been joined by Reverend Felix Fofoy, and also Gifty Aban Kwashi also has joined us in the studio. Also welcome, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
You're doing very well.
Are you also relatives or you are friends that are concerned about what happened?
I'm more than a relative. Okay. I've been with Captain, we're in the army together.
Oh, okay.
And we live like brothers because he was my boss actually.
Okay.
And,
You mean senior captain?
Yes, senior
Okay.
captain.
Okay.
Was my boss in the army. We were at the border guys training school, and then we moved on and on and on. I know his mother, he knows my mother. We know our families. He knows our home in the Volta Clicquot. And even when Maxwell was born, by then they were at Samre Boy. When they came to Accra, the whole family was in my house. So we've been a family living together till today.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Even though we met in the armed forces.
Right. Gifty, how about you?
Hey, I am a journalist.
Okay.
Actually, I'm with one of the radio stations.
Okay.
And then when I saw what happened,
Okay.
you know, whenever things like this happen, at first I thought it was, oh, they deserve it. Oh, it's cool. You know, beat them. Sometimes I even go and stand there. Seriously. But when I saw this case, it was a different thing. My wedding is up, but I'm here. I have to plan for my wedding, but I'm here. It means I am very serious about this. Because I have a son who is 4 years. I left him around 4 o'clock to come here. You understand? And he is always asking of daddy. And my husband is alive. So you can imagine what Barbara is going through. So when I saw this issue, I decided to take it on. I called some people. I called the parent, the father, and then we started. And for now, we have majors. He's a retired major now, a pastor. We have a lot of people, journalists all over. So it is.
The very retired major.
So you bought me one of the T-shirts.
I'll get you one.
I deliberately asked on air so that you see that Gifty didn't bring me one. Yeah.
I'm an OR. I was another rank.
Yeah.
I was not a major at that time.
I see. I see.
I served under him from when I was a private soldier to the rank of a sergeant. I served under him.
Okay, so like I said, you may have seen this a lot of the times. You may have not seen it before, but this particular case, I don't know what is so special about it, but there's something particular about it that whether you like it or yes, it touches your heart. It moves you in a way, you know, and that is why everybody seems to be very much concerned and obviously using it to fight a particular cause. Before I ask you how this campaign is going to start, let me come to Daddy. So the final rights, we didn't complete it. What else is going to happen?
Yeah, like I said, on the 29th May, I've outlined what will happen. Just church service early morning by the family, and then reflaying. Then the following Sunday will be on the 3rd June, and that is where we'll do the funeral proper.
Okay.
It's going to be a very big church service at the same Bema camp, St. Catherine Catholic Church, but it's going to be a non-denominational service. And so I'm a Muslim. The Muslims will be there to give prayers. All various denominations will be there. And then we hope that it starts at 8:30 at the St. Catherine Catholic Church in Bema camp. And this time the attire is black and white.
Okay.
In fact, for the 29th one, it's all black. For the 29th one, it's all black or red. But for the 3rd June, which will be on the Sunday, where we'll have the non-denominational church service, it will be black and white.
Right.
And the church service starts at 8:30, and we hope that it will be ending around 11 o'clock, and then we'll move to the Arakan of St. Mary's for the funeral gathering. There we have a lined up program there, and it is there we will launch our ambassadors against mob justice.
Okay. Okay.
We've been working behind the scenes all along, mobilizing membership, and this membership is not any qualification required to be a member. You just need to be a concerned citizen to be a member. The IGP, the president, you yourself, just come forward and say no to mob justice, and it means you are a member of Ambassadors Against Mob Justice.
I see.
So we'll launch it on that Sunday at the Arakan of St. Mary's.
During the funeral service. I see. What else do we have to add, Gifty?
We are calling upon the media to come and support us on that day, on the 3rd. We are also calling on potential sponsors to come, because we have done things on our own and we want to do more. and without their help, we can't go further. And we actually doing this not because I got to know Major Mahama after his death. I am actually doing this because I am a mother, and I'm a wife too, and I don't want to see any of this happen before. I quite remember at the funeral, Major said something. He said, never again should this happen to any family, not even your enemy. So we are calling on sponsors to come and help us. Anyone who has anything to help us, we'll be going to schools, we'll be going to churches. If you want us to come to your ends, you can call us. And you know, we need fuel. We have to also give refreshment and things to the students. So we pray that sponsorship will come on board for us to do more.
Right. Reverend, what will you add?
What I want to add on is that, you see, the Bible says we're all created in the image of God. And it's not only armed robbers who are murderers. Everybody who kills his fellow human being is a murderer. Most of the times, what people do is that they hear somebody says witch, they hear somebody says thief. They don't even ask what happened. The person who was saying it might be saying it out of envy, out of jealousy, out of just anything. And then you go and start throwing stones, using weapons, and kill somebody. What is the justification? I said yesterday somewhere that we've all done different offenses, or we've sinned in different ways. There's none of us sitting here who has said, I've not stolen before. Maybe I've stolen a pen from my office. I took it. But every stealing is stealing. I've stolen meat from my mother's soup. If people were to kill me because of that, or the various things we do, would I be sitting here today saying I'm a reverend minister? No. We are not the people to kill people for God. He has his way of judgment one day. And therefore, if such things happen, the law enforcement agencies are there. Let's pick the person, take the person to the police station. Let the police take the person to court. If the person is guilty and is deserving death, he'll be killed. If he's deserving jail, he'll be jailed. It's not our duty to kill people.
Let alone to do it in a very gruesome way.
When the men took a woman to Jesus and said she was caught in adultery, do we stone her? He said, which of you have never sinned before? The one who has never sinned before should cast the first stone. And nobody was there, because we are all guilty. So we must be careful.
Right. Thank you very much. Michael, anything?
Yeah, so Ambassadors Against Mob Justice is just to shed light on all this that we've been talking about, and we pray that as we go on this campaign, a lot of people will come on board and be enlightened, so that all this killing and all this bad things will stop. So that's one of our missions. We're just, every day trying to do something to make the place a better place, a better world.
Right. But if somebody wants to send mobile money to a number, do we have a number?
Yes, we have a number. It's 024 60 80 907. 024 60 80 907. And it's registered in our secretary's name, Obed Amwa.
Obed Amwa.
Yes.
If you take it again,
024 60 80 907. Yes.
Okay, Obed Amwa.
Yes.
So if you're watching and you have some contributions to make, you want to send your contribution as well to this number. It's registered under the name Obed Amwa, and you're sure that you will contribute to this plea that the concerned citizens, that is what ambassadors against mob justice are saying. I mean, this one day will be joining, then you help fight this cause. Dad, did you have any last word before we go?
Well, what I will say is that when my son died, within the first week, a lot of radio stations called to interview me, and I kept on mentioning everywhere that never again should such a thing that has happened to my son ever happen to any family, any father, or any mother. Not even my enemy, like Gifty just mentioned. And so when Gifty mentioned to me about the need to set up this ambassadors against mob justice, I said this: we shouldn't just walk the talk. How many Ghanaians will not support this laudable idea of campaign against mob justice? But we just mention it, we say it, and we don't do anything about it. And so Ambassadors Against Mob Justice has come to add action to the words.
Right.
And so everybody should come on board.
Right.
Everybody is a member. Every Ghanaian is a member. We need to print more T-shirts. We've been printing T-shirts using our own monies. We need to print more. We need to go to places, especially the schools. That's why we've always praised the Blue Skies.
Right.
They've already come forward to give us some parcel of their products. When we get to schools, we share to the children just to motivate them to come to hear our campaign,
Right.
our messages. That is what we're talking about in terms of sponsorship, not necessarily cash. Just bring us things, T-shirts, materials, fuel, vehicle to move here and there, you know, and perhaps maybe ask for the cash, very little. If it comes, fine, but we need material support.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And just having spoken as Captain retired Dennis Mahama, father of the late Major Mahama. Also Michael Mahama, seated to his left, is his brother. And Reverend Felix Fofui is also seated on my right. You were whispering.
I just want to thank you for hosting us.
Oh, okay.
And we thank Rainbow Radio for hosting us. We are expecting more radio stations and TV stations to join, to call us, and we'll be there.
I'm sure producers have heard you. I'm sure you're with radio, Rainbow Radio. Okay, so Gifty Aban Kwashi is also from Rainbow Radio. In fact, she started this movement, and I think it's already gaining ground. Thank you so much.
I want to say
for
something.
that
I want everyone to know that we are not here for anything. We are here to protect lives, and that it can happen to anyone. I am on radio, nobody knows me. So even if they know you, your brother, your sister somewhere, they don't know that person. It can happen to anybody. So we should come on board and then fight.
That's true. That's very true. All right, so I'll end the interview here and call for a feature on this particular matter that happened 1 year down the lane.